Hey all, it's Charlie
Hi.
here, and I'm here with such an exciting interview. I'm sitting down with Rahab, who has just released her debut EP. How are you doing today?
I'm doing so well, and all the more better for talking with you too. Um, yeah, it's been actually a pretty chaotic day, if I'm honest. I've been in the studio this morning, working like on set. I'm not allowed to say what it's for yet, but you'll probably see it eventually. And yeah, just like showing everybody my workspace. So I may as well welcome you into here as well. So this is the studio. Thanks for coming.
Love it. This is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
And
This is where I
yeah,
recorded like some of my vocals actually. Kind of just stuck up a mic here and then went in through a particular chain. I've got like outboard gear just under me, which is like a Neve and a CL1B compressor. And that's kind of the chain I use for my vocals anyway.
that's
Most
so
people
cool.
like it.
I love that. Okay, this is like truly the insight into the EP here.
Yeah, what better way? I was like, oh, I'll just do it in here, seeing as I'm like, you know, here this morning doing stuff and yeah. So welcome.
Thank you for the welcome. And yeah, for people who are watching who have just stumbled across your EP or who have never heard of you before, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about Rahab.
Oh, so like how do I put it into a plot? Okay. um well, yeah, I'm Rahab. I'm a writer, producer, and engineer. Um, I guess I have a background in like professional dance as well, so that was something that was really important in incorporating into the project too. And I think you'll really see that in like the live um, gigs, which is cool. I use these like little bits of hardware which are called air sticks, and I actually met the creator of them in Melbourne whilst I was doing my Bachelor of Engineering, and yeah, they're like state of the art tech. They're not on the market anyway, and they basically create sound when I move. Yeah, so that's a little bit about Rahab, I guess. I started writing a lot of it when I was living in Melbourne. A lot of this particular body of work, anyway. And then kind of went around to a bunch of different studios that I was working at, and continued to upskill in order to bring my vision to life and at the same time help bring other artists vision for their music to life as well. And yeah, it's sort of where I am now. I don't think I've really explained the project of Rahab itself, but um, that's a little insight for me anyway. Did I get it? I don't know.
Yes, no, that was amazing. And also now I'm like needing to see your live show because that sounds so cool.
Yeah, it's like I don't think anybody else is. I think there's similar stuff out there, but I don't know of any artists that have like incorporated that kind of tech into their live performances, at least in Australia. Like, of course, you have things like Mew Mew gloves, um, and Ariana Grande's kind of done a bit of that in her performances, but yeah, nothing that I've seen in Australia yet. It's kind of tech that hasn't quite reached here yet, which is interesting in itself.
That
Yeah.
is so cool. It's like the little like insider like you get this first because you're cool, you're bringing it to us.
Well, trying. We'll see how it translates. But my drummer actually made a point of being like, "Can you just like kind of tell people why you're doing the live stick stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, like, I mean, I have the dance background," and it's like, "Yeah, but they don't know that." I'm like, oh, "Okay, all right." That's kind of like I always thought about movement's always been pretty organic for me. It's like where I started my performance background, I suppose, and it sort of helps to ground me, and I always envision that, melding that with my music as well. So that's definitely a part of the RAYHAB project. Yeah.
Okay, I love that so much. And also, your debut EP, Residue, I am loving it. On repeat, I feel like every time I listen to it, like top to bottom, I get like a new favorite, and then I'm like, okay, this is my favorite. Listen to it again, I'm like, no, this one's my favorite. Because it's so good. Every single song is like, it holds like such a special story in it, but then also you can just listen to it without paying attention to the lyrics, and it's also just like such a cool sonic experience as well. Can you tell us a bit about this EP?
Oh, firstly, thank you so much. It's really generous and kind feedback, and thanks for listening. I put a lot of my heart and soul into the EP, and it took me like a long time, as I said, because I was developing my producer and engineering skills alongside this work. So yeah, I think, when I started writing the EP, and I don't always like to dive too far into this because it feels like a lifetime ago, but I was quite heavily in the church at the time, and I think like it had a lot of that kind of search for meaning and everything. So the lyrics are layered with this nuance that you probably won't pick up the first time you listen to it, and maybe never, like, unless you go, ooh, I wonder what like laying in a bed of violets actually means, and then like do a bunch of research into it. Like, yeah, I mean, even symbolically, violets being faithfulness and that kind of thing, but the whole laying in a bed of violets is, an old mystic term for hope and holding on to faith kind of thing. So I think it's really depicts, like, for me anyway, that push and pull of struggle for meaning, and holding on to this idea of, I guess, eternal life in the chaos. Yeah, so just a pretty crazy period for me in general. And now it's in this like package sort of thing, which is weird in itself, I think. Yeah, although I still have like that kind of spirituality, I'm not like in that place anymore. Yeah. And how has it been then? Like these are super personal things to you. This is like very heavy stuff to work through yourself. How does it feel to be putting this into your music, into your art, and like using a different form of expression to work through it and then sharing it with people? I think, it does start off as that, like, it did start off as that personal dialogue and processing in the moment through not only like relationships with people I was going through, but my relationship to the church. And reflecting on it on the other side, I'm like, it's only now where I'm getting asked about the EP that I'm kind of also processing. I'm like, oh yeah, I went and did that, and now I've got to talk about it. I'm like, do I feel comfortable in talking about that? But I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just the truth of it, and we all move and grow, and I guess I hope people can hear and feel a sense of like hope when they're listening to the work, that little silver lining through the chaos of life. Yeah.
I love the way you've worded that as well. That's like such a beautiful thing to take out of it all.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, and you mentioned briefly before, like, this EP has been with you for a while. You were living in Melbourne when you wrote a lot of it, recording a lot of stuff, like producing a lot of stuff up in Sydney at, different studios around the place. Has the experience of like taking this music and taking these stories with you to different like geographical locations, but also different like times in your life. Has this changed like the meaning of the music to you, or like the significance of the stories at all?
I don't know so much of, not so much the significance of the stories, but I think definitely there was, say, like Dormant Life, the last song on the EP. I wrote that on the tram in Melbourne, but then when I sort of separated myself from where I originally wrote it, I'm like, what does this even mean, girl? Like, if you're actually going to put it out there,
Yeah.
like, are people going to relate to what you've written? Because I was like, yes, it was so esoteric. It was like, yes, I'm like looking at the world and there's like, you know, there's concrete all around me, and I'm like, imagine what it was like before the concrete was there. It was like nature and you know, but I want the tree to be like a metaphor for a woman, and I'm like, what? Yeah, so for me, it ended up like, once I actually processed, I was like, what are you actually trying to say? It was like, oh, like it's the memories that are embedded within the city for me, like with people, with experiences. And that's why I'm like, dormant life beneath the city veins kind of thing. Beneath the hustle and bustle, there's like this residue and memory for me there that will always be there. It's like taken a part of myself, and yeah, Melbourne will always be, you know, kind of home, I guess. And yeah, I still have like family and so many like amazing, beautiful friends that are there. Yeah.
I love how sometimes like you feel like you're being really poetic. You're like, I'm into the brainwave, and then you sit back, you're like, wait, what was that brainwave? But Dormant Life, like on that note, I adore Dormant Life. I was at uni the other day, like, you know, people are moving around you, people are, like having these like really big conversations they're engaged in. And I kind of just sat there and I listened to the song and I was like, whoa, okay, like it changed like the whole place I was in, the whole time I was just like, okay.
I think that's really cool, because I feel like that in itself captures like the essence of, you know, how I wrote it in the first place.
Yeah.
It was like headphones on, everything just like, and you're just sitting there like, okay.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's like, I love a good song that just like takes you, it kind of takes you out of your actual, like where you physically are. And that song does it. I love it.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you. That means everything. Thank you so much. It honestly didn't come together until I like fully, everything was there, but until I added like the live drum kit, that's kind of when it landed for me. So I like engineered that in this room actually, and set up the drums just in like the live room through here, just here, and recorded my drum and kneel. And that's when it really landed for me. I was like, oh yeah, this is what it is. Yeah. But it was a massive process in kind of getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's so cool. And I leads me on to another thing I really wanted to ask. It's about like finding your sound and the sound of this EP Residue. Because like when you listen to it, there are conventions of like, you know, typical modern pop throughout the EP, but it feels like deeper and a bit more intuitive, if that makes sense. Like, I'd love to know how you carved out this sound and like this style of this EP, and how did you know it felt right?
Yeah, I think I never fully knew it was right per se. But I was just capturing what I could envision in my head, kind of. Yeah, because it was like, it's almost like a metaphor for life. It's like you want it to be fully polished, but it's not. It's like messy and distorted. So for me, it was about capturing those like distorted guitars at home in like a hoarder's kind of mess because I'm a bit messy. I'm a messy creative. Yeah, so like my brother and I got together on occasions and it was just in mum and dad's living room or in my little home studio with a little amp, and I just made it really dirty and gross, and probably like in a studio, maybe a pop artist wouldn't probably normally do something like that, but that felt right at the time to me. And then I guess because I was working parts in the studio and parts at home, it has this like polished and not feel. So yeah, it kind of enters the in-between space. So a lot of the time, you know, the feedback is like, oh, it's pop, but it's not. So we're not going to put it on this playlist, and so we're not going to put it in this playlist, and people don't know exactly where to place it because it doesn't sound exactly like something else. And I think that's interesting in itself that we've become so, you know, things. I think, you know, working in a studio, you know that the sound of good is the sound of familiar. Or like what's familiar is labeled good, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like it's such a tricky thing. Like, why are we, like, still today, but also ever, trying to put art into boxes? Like, this is such a personal thing. It's not going to fit everyone's box of, like, a pop EP, right? Like, it's not a Taylor Swift album, but also it's not a Taylor Swift album for a reason. It's your EP. It's your stories.
Totally. I think that just comes with the nature of like making anything a product, right? That's just what ends up happening. So if you don't fit the box, then you're not the right product for that thing. I don't know. It's for me, I like go into all that kind of brain of corporation brain. I'm like, but that's not art.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. And like also another thing, it's like there's a right way to be an artist, or like you can only focus on songwriting and performing if you want to be an artist, things like that. But like you're out here, you've got production work, engineer work alongside your music, which I think is so cool. Like being able to do all of those things astounds me, because I will literally like walk into a studio and I'll be like, too many buttons, I'm overwhelmed, I can't handle this. But like you're here doing all of this epic stuff in this hectic time to be an artist, and also like hectic time to be alive, to be completely honest. I would love to know how you balance these different facets of your work and of your like artistic self.
Yeah, I think it's a really hard thing to do in general, but at the same time, like everything feeds into each other always. So you know, if I'm like helping another artist, I'm sitting back and I know my role, and that's why I kind of named the projects differently as well. It's like, okay, Natasha Newling, I'm facilitating and helping other artists achieve their vision, whereas RAYHAB, I get to sit in the full creator seat and like, you know, stretch those kind of tentacles, for lack of a better word. Yeah, I think just knowing those kind of different roles and hats to put on is really helpful. And also, you know, getting into different spaces separates it for me as well as using different DAWs, like digital audio workstations, just software programs for different parts of the process is really helpful as well. And it just helps me to put on those different hats, because I think like in this day and age, you just, I don't know, I guess you just kind of have to wear a bunch of different hats. Not saying that you have to become a producer in the studio, like you know, I'm here to help with that, obviously. But yeah, it does help to like know the basics and scratch out your idea and just have an idea of what you want to do coming into the studio, and not rather than not knowing. But then,
Yeah.
there's been plenty of times where I've just got in and be like, I don't know what I'm going to create today, but let's just write a song. Let's just see where that goes. And often that's a really cool process as well. I think I went off in a tangent a little bit. Sorry.
No, I totally get that. It's also like tricky nowadays where it's like you've got to also be like fully on top of social media and like you've got to brand yourself to everyone and oh my gosh, even like
a whole different thing. I'm like trying to I think it's really hard in that respect because it's like, okay, I'm the fly on the wall in the studio, I'm helping other people, but then I'm like, okay, now I'm the artist. I'm like, that feels kind of awkward. Like, but and so even just like feeling comfortable talking to a camera is an interesting thing. Hey,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, I can do this when someone's on the other side and I'm talking to them, but I'm like quite aware of, hello, I'm talking to a phone, which is essentially talking to myself. Help me, my brain's going off in a million directions.
I've like decided in my head I'm gonna like start doing in-person interviews, like brought the microphones, the fancy phone, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to like be talking to someone with a phone like looking at us, and I'm like, that's awkward. I'm not ready for that.
Do you have a choice though?
The things we do to please the algorithm.
I know, right? Oh, speaking of, kind of excited for the next stuff I'm working on. I just got like an M1 classic 90s synth keyboard. It's going to be like some really nasty classic sounds.
Okay, I'm keen. Is this like thinking like next year, are you going to take a bit of a rest now that the EP is out, or like are you going straight in while like you've got the creative juices?
I think like probably it's going to be pretty hectic to the end of the year. I don't foresee any sort of break. Particularly like my studio boss has been like, level up, and I'm like, okay. So I'm stepping into like, I guess, a more senior kind of role and upskilling, like just constantly leveling up. And so I decided myself that to the end of the year it was going to be go. So that includes my own production. I want to just like write and produce as much as I can on my own EP, as well as like I'm working with other people too and doing quite a few mixes, which is cool. Got some exciting stuff I'm working on for other artists too coming up. But I'm envisioning writing a whole bunch of stuff for RAYHAB and producing it, and then picking the best out of that. I've already started, and I've already added like a couple new tracks to my live set, so it's in test mode. It's a little bit like more refined, mature, and a little bit sexier, because I'm like, it's a different exploration, which will be fun. I think it's already been fun. It's already been really fun to play.
I'm so excited. Okay, this is fun, but also like make sure to like take a breather. Like you have just released a debut EP, which that is massive. Like take some time to revel in that as well.
No, you're so right. And I think for like at least the next couple of weeks, I'm just gonna take it easy in terms of like, I'll do it for fun when I have capacity. But I'm kind of like a bit obsessive like that. That is my fun time, and being in the studio is just like what I kind of love doing. So, but I will make sure to spend lots of time with my dog because she's an angel.
I love that. And whilst you're out spending time with your dog, what can we do on the other side of the internet, receiving Residue and like listening to it and loving it? what can we do to best support Residue and support yourself as an artist?
Oh, thank you so much for asking. I guess, keep streaming it, keep sharing it. I think it's so hard with streaming. I just want the right people to find Residue. So if you can share it to someone who you think, would really like it or loves Aurora or like alt pop girlies, that would be awesome. Yeah, just like following, buying some merch, coming to our live shows actually, where, well, I'm opening for Miramar this Saturday with my band, and I'm really excited about that, and that's happening in Sydney at the Trocadero. So come along to live gigs, events, and just like, yeah, follow champion upcoming artists, right? We're all in a community, and yeah, I think we can forget that it's like grassroots, baby. Like, we're all in this together. All ships rise with the tide. So that's kind of my motto and thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. Like sometimes, oh, you see everyone say like the Australian music scene is so competitive. Everyone like hates each other, and it's like, okay, can we change this? Like, let's actually
Yeah.
like care for what other people are making. Because I think,
100%.
in my like humble opinion, as someone who just talks about music a lot, I think the best music of the past few years has come out of like the Australian indie scene. Like the people who aren't cracking the charts for some reason, because the charts are kind of broken. That's the best music out there. And if people aren't taking the time to look into it, you're missing out. You're missing out.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like this, I don't know, definitely have like that obsession with overseas artists. And, I've worked with a few. They're all right. Like, but as Aussie artists are like, just, brilliant. You've got some really amazing writers and musicians and producers and engineers upcoming, and that's super exciting. And I hope that there is like, support moving forward, particularly with like AI and stuff coming into, that's a whole different ball game. But I feel like, and I hope I can foresee like that real need for authenticity and human connection and realness, as opposed to like AI just producing some, I don't know, pop banger, and you can't, so therefore artists, I kind of think, will need to be more organic and be recording in studios and or their own kind of mic recordings and stuff to have the mistakes and that authenticity that can't be replicated in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I honestly could yell for hours about the AI infiltration into music. I literally just can't. But rather than bring us all down with those horrible thoughts, I'm gonna ask.
That'd be dark.
No, it's like it's so heavy and it's so like significant. People don't realize how horrible this is. But anyway, deep breaths. I would love to switch gears and quickly ask who your favourite local acts are in your local scene, in the broader Australian scene, who you've been listening to and loving, and you think we're going to love as well.
Oh, there's so many. And so many that come through the studio as well. I gotta obviously give a shout out to Melbourne Marigolden. I'm super excited for some stuff that's coming out that we worked on together, and also obviously Miramar, who I'm playing with this weekend, and Clay Weston, who's also supporting. I've really been loving Melbourne Toy Shaw as well, really cool. And obviously my brother Adam Newling. I'm pretty excited for some special stuff that he's got coming as well. So I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but get your ears ready. It's really good. And yeah, I'll be playing keys for him too, which is exciting.
That's so
Yeah.
exciting. Okay, I'm ready. Am I ready? I'm gonna be ready.
Awesome. Thank you so much for today.
No, thank you. Thank you so much because I have been loving Residue so much. Sometimes you just like, you listen to an EP once, you're like, cool, okay, moving on. I have not moved on. I'm still there. I am obsessed. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you so much. It was great to chat with you.